Welcome to a special episode of Soccer Over Gotham. We are your hosts, Ruby Pinto, Gary Gibson. Tonight, we are going to take a deep dive into supporter culture and highlight the best supporter group in American soccer, our own Cloud9 supporter group. We will interview two Cloud9 members, and I can't wait to bring their story to the fans. And we will follow that up with an amazing interview with Gotham fan favorite Mandy Freeman. Ruby, I'm still on cloud 9 from that interview. All right, I made the joke. I'll see myself out.
Right.
Just going to mute
That
myself for the rest of the episode.
that was such an amazing interview. I hope everyone that listens enjoys it just as much as we did.
So, all right, without any further ado, let's go, Gotham. Thanks for listening. Let's get on to the show. So, Ruby, it is so good to be back. I've been wanting to do this show with Cloud9 for a while. I can't wait to bring their story to the fans. But first, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. We finally got some nice weather here in Jersey, so I'm enjoying that. And again, those interviews that are coming up are amazing, both of them.
Yes. All right, let's get to the show. So, before we start, let's talk a little bit about supporter culture. And as I said many times, I think on the show I've said many times, supporter groups are the lifeblood of soccer. But what are supporter groups and why are they so important?
Exactly. So supporter groups are a collection of fans of a club that serve a bridge between like the team and the fans. There is a hierarchy within the supporters group, and each supporter group has their own code of ethics and stances. But mainly, they are located in the section behind the home team's goal, chanting, singing, dancing, bringing the atmosphere, and they cheer for their team. You can always find them before the games, holding tailgates at parties with all the fans to just party people.
Yes. And supporter clubs usually feature four tenets. The first is to never stop cheering on your team, regardless if they're winning or losing. Secondly, most supporter sections in modern specific soccer stadiums are safe standing. So you're supposed to stand during most times during the game. Third, as a supporter, you should always attempt to attend as many matches as you possibly can, home and away. And then lastly, you should always follow the lead of the person in the stand called the capo. They're essentially the conductor of the supporter group. They lead the group in chants and they keep everyone on point.
Yep, that's true. Supporter groups also serve many other functions. Supporter groups also advocate for positive change. The use of banners and signs throughout their section highlight the causes they believe in. So supporter groups are progressive organizations and advocate for health and safety of the players and the growth of the sport.
Yeah. And not only that, but supporter groups have the ear of the team and ownership, and they're often included in decisions regarding the team. So, for example, when Sky Blue rebranded to Gotham FC,
Mhm.
Cloud9 was very much helping craft the rebrand with Zoom meetings with the former GM and with internal surveys. So, supporter groups are the fans that set the culture of the club as well. So, Gotham FC is one of the most diverse and inclusive clubs in the sport. It is a reflection of the culture of the supporter club and therefore the fans. Cloud9 is a fantastic group of people. Everybody is welcome, and hate has no place in that group.
Exactly. Everyone who's listening should go and sign up. And being part of a supporter group gives you a sense of ownership of the club as you get to help drive the direction of the club forward and being an agent for positive change, not only within the club, but within the community. Supporter groups are routinely running charity auctions and volunteer their time with local charities.
And as we get into during our interview, you don't have to sit with the supporter group and chant if you don't want to, if you don't want to
Mhm.
get yelled at for the entire time. But you should get a membership anyway, even if you live half a world away from Red Bull Arena and can't make the games. As we talked about earlier, supporter groups are out there amplifying your voice and as fans, and they push for positive change for the team and the sport. Getting a membership, it helps them advocate for a better and safer sport. I can't stress that enough. Get a membership.
Yes, my favorite thing about supporter groups is the atmosphere they bring to the stadium. And they actually work like hours and hours and hours creating these banners and tifos, which we have a tifo championship in Cloud9. Tifos are the largest scale banners that hang from the rafters before the games, and highlighting players, banters, and just overall setting the tone for the players and the fans. Or supporter group Cloud9 won a tifo contest last year, and their work is amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, supporter groups also set the tone for the team itself. One thing that's baked into this team's DNA, Gotham FC, as we mentioned again many times on this podcast, is a never quit attitude, and it reflects to the players. They just do not stop for 90 minutes. From the first minute to the last minute, this
Hmm.
team is fighting. Ask any player on this team; they will tell you that the energy of Cloud Nine wills them to keep fighting. Cloud Nine doesn't quit, and this team reflects that attitude.
And honestly, I can't wait to learn about our club supporter group, which is Cloud9 again. And I want to hear more and know and get into that history of the group, hear some fun stories, and find out how they became members.
All right, let's go talk some Cloud Nine members, shall we?
Let's go.
All right, Ruby and I are here with two Cloud9 members to learn more about the best supporter group in soccer. Welcome, Shae and Natalie, to the show.
Hi guys.
Hey guys.
So I'm like super excited to do this interview. I've been playing with this idea for like a while. Supporter groups mean so much to the sport, and to me personally, supporter groups are like the lifeblood of sports that we love, and it's so interesting of an organization, especially Cloud9. And I want everyone who's listening here to have a better understanding of supporter culture, and ultimately, I want you all to become a member. But before we do, let's get to know our guests, Shae and Natalie. So please, just Shae or Natalie, either one, introduce yourselves, your role in Cloud9, and where your love for soccer came from and your kind of journey to Cloud9.
Yeah, that's all you, Shae.
Thank you. Well, my name is Shae. He, him pronouns. I started with Cloud9, 2015, right after the World Cup. And what else? Capo. Yes, I capo and I drum for Cloud9 as well.
So you went from 2015 not being in a supporter group to being a capo. That's you drive straight into it.
Yeah. So it was 2015, like end of 2015. I became a Cloud9 member, but I joined, like, started going to Sky Blue games after the World Cup,
Yeah.
and then carried on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And now,
Yeah, I
how about
mean,
you, Natalie?
so my journey is a little bit shorter, just because I really started getting into like the actual meat and bones of supporters culture. Actually, thanks to the pandemic, I ended up becoming a part of like a national supporters group. Shout out to the Plastics, and like I started meeting a lot of people from around the country of different supporters, and that kind of segued me into actually like I've loved soccer for years. I grew up playing soccer. I was, kicking a ball from the age of 4 to when I was like a sophomore, junior in high school. Like I've been in there. I watched Mia Hamm play on the U.S. women's team back in the day. Like I've been a fan of Metro Stars / the New York Red Bulls, and then that kind of segued me into getting into the women's side of soccer. The NWSL, and I've been a member. Let's see, I've been a member of Cloud9 for the last 2 years officially on paper, and I also do capoing with Shae. And my biggest involvement so far has also been collaborating and commiserating with Jen and Melissa of Cloud9 leadership to get some really cool tifos flying for both Cloud9
Yeah,
and for Red Bulls too, hopefully in the near future.
we have an award winner
Yeah,
here.
it's not real
Yeah.
until I kiss the hardware. Yeah, so it's been a wild ride. Like I went from doing nothing with soccer supporters to now I'm a board member for Empire Supporters Club for the Red Bulls, and now I'm helping on the sidelines for Cloud9. But I'm going to be living at Red Bull Arena this year, so better make the best of
Yeah.
that time.
Yeah, I've been a season ticket holder for Red Bulls and Gotham, so I know what you're going
Yeah,
through.
absolutely. So I'm kind of playing on both sides, but it's been a wild ride so far, and I've met a lot of really awesome people. So
Every supporter group has its story. Just give us some background of Cloud9, just a short story.
I don't think this story is short.
it's actually very involved
So
and very
We
awesome.
got time.
it's a great story. I had to ask one of our leaders, Melissa, about the story. So she's one of the founding members of Cloud9.
She's
So
great. I love her.
according to her, according to her, it was 2013. Uh, she saw Jill Loyden on the bench playing her cowbell, cheering on the team on the field. And the very next day, she comes in with Melissa comes in with the cowbell, and
Mhm.
plays like on the field.
Like
She's
every
like
great
sitting on the
story.
field, just just hammering away at the cowbell. And then someone in the front office told her, "Okay, these people are complaining about the noise. We're gonna put you in section 9 of your sack." So
This is our villain
So
origin story.
this happens around the end of the season, and then going into 2014, they're looking for a way to become an official supporters group, but they find a Twitter account already made called Cloud9 uh, Sky Blue Supporters Group. But it was made by this rando guy. We have no idea who he is. He's never showed up to games. He's just like, just absolutely no one knows who he is. He is just like,
It's like patient
he's
zero.
this urban
Yeah.
legend. He is patient zero. Um, and later that year, Melissa meets Jen. Jen already was part of ESC, so she knew how to run a supporters group, and we're
Yeah.
here.
It's kind of cool actually how much overlap there is with those two groups. Like it's very interesting because usually you get into one, you go to the other, and like you see a lot of the same people at those games, which is really fun too. It's kind of fostering
Yeah.
that.
Now, the
Yeah.
big question is, where is that cowbell
Yeah.
now?
Oh, probably Melissa probably still
It's
has it,
probably
or
still
you
on the
can.
stand.
Yeah, yeah. We probably still have that same
Yeah,
cowbell.
it's probably the one that's just
Um,
covered in stickers and stuff that's just on like because she
yeah,
has like this little stand with like a couple of cowbells, like a symbol at the top, and like some noisemakers and stuff.
yeah.
It's great. It's like this little setup, and so she literally has
Dude,
There's
stuff.
there's
I'm
yeah
gonna have
there's
to come
one
down and
with
take a picture with the cowbell. Like,
Yeah, you have to ask her if that's the
yeah,
one.
yeah. I think it's the one with the sky blue sticker on it.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so the origin
So
story's there.
yeah, and we gotta thank Jill Loyden
Yeah,
for even like coming up with it. That's she's the epicenter for all of this.
she was the fulcrum.
that's yeah, that's
He's the
awesome.
fulcrum.
That's awesome. But walk us through the process of a game day, the prep, the tailgating, and the rush of supporting.
Yeah,
Tell us a
yeah.
little bit.
So this is something that I, especially over the last year now, have become very familiar with. It's been amazing having these games at Red Bull Arena because the facilities are just so much better. Going from your sec to this
Yeah.
is
Well,
absolutely
take it from a
insane.
person.
Yeah, like
Yeah, take it from a person
the muddy fields,
who had
like
to set up at your sec.
yeah,
Uh,
it's crazy how much better things are. Like we have space in the cage, which is just like the cage is just like an area where we keep all of like our supporter stuff that like the banners, the flags, everything. And so it's Viking Army, who is the other supporters group for Red Bull, ourselves for ESC, and then we have like now this little corner for Cloud9 stuff, and it's really nice. But so our our process usually starts anywhere from like 4 hours 4 or so hours even before we like start tailgating any of that. We have to get into the stadium. Usually we can't be in the stadium at like beyond 2 hours before game time because the players are arriving. So we have to be there very early and bring out all the banners, literally all the Cloud9 stuff that you see and the Gotham stuff that you see gets put up. That's all done 4 hours before the game starts. So usually we have a crew of people, like at least three or four of us that are just putting up these flags, putting up the banners that we all pretty much hand paint. We have flags that go up with each of the. We have at least one flag that represents the nationality for like players that are currently on the team. Our usual colors of various rainbows and trans representation and everything. And then we put out the drums. We put out all the flags, everything. And then once that's all done, we go back out and then we start the tailgate. So it just kind of all leads into each other. Tailgating can be anywhere from 3 to 4 hours before the game itself, before like all of that stuff. And then, we're out
Yeah.
there in the lot right next to the Red Bull Arena. We got tents set up. We have usually a canopy or two. And it's just like we love when new people come around. Like even if you're not part of Cloud9, like we always like invite people to come over. We have so much food. Like we always have music. It's just like we want to like start fostering this like idea that if you're new around or if you want to come and like be there that early before the game, like we're gonna make sure it's worth your while.
And talking about prep things, like the tifos, how like the designs come up and like painting this thing, it's
oh,
huge. How do
that's
you
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
do?
that's all
that's
Natalie.
okay.
That's
Listen,
all
it's not all
Natalie.
me because it takes a village to get these things done.
Uh,
It's 40 by 50 feet of plastic hell that you have to go through, but it literally all just starts with an idea. And like we're already at the beginning, facing the beginning of our current season, and I can't say much just yet, But we are planning on
It's gonna
having
be
a
awesome.
tifo for our opener for the regular season,
It
Aw,
is.
and
you
I've
gotta give us an
seen.
exclusive and
praying.
like a little clue.
No,
Man,
no, no, knocking on
it
every
is.
surface that there is. I'm currently, for people who can't see, I'm currently knocking on my own head. If it goes off without a hitch, it's going to be very, very cool. Um,
Oh
It's gonna
man,
be
I
the
Cool.
can't
coolest
wait.
one we've done in a
yeah,
while.
we already we
Oh,
won the hardware last year. Now we're just like, it's like, how can we possibly do it better? And like,
you're getting me
it's
hyped
it's
up.
gonna, yeah, no, like, but that's the thing. We already have the schedule, so we already know kind of like where we're going to be
Yeah,
going with things. And like for this first one, we just want to remind everyone like why we're doing what we're doing, and just getting them
yeah.
hyped back up for being at Red Bull Arena. Like we have so many new members this year too.
That's awesome. And the supporter work doesn't stop there. You guys also do charitable work as well. Tell us a little bit about some like charities that you've done or currently working on.
So we do a Pride Raiser, Axe Pride Raiser every Challenge Cup. Um,
Ah, I gotta
and
subscribe to.
this year we're doing a Baji, which is Black Alliance for Just Immigration. Um,
Mm,
they
good one.
are they are located. Their headquarters is located in New York, but they're all over the United States. Um, and we just finished doing an auction for CVTC, which is the Crime Victims Treatment Center, and they provide services to sexual assault and domestic abuse survivors.
Yeah,
So
that was a
those are our two.
that process. Well, can we talk about that though for a second, because that was hilarious. Getting the
Oh
stuff
yeah,
for that auction, literally. So Shay can tell you
yeah.
about this. Shay, you tell him about the drum head, because that was
Let's
your
go. Story time.
brainchild.
Come
So
That
on.
was your brainchild.
so last year I played the snare drum. I got injured, so I don't do that this year. But last year I was playing the snare, and like the last couple of games of the season, I would run to the barrier with like the full drum and just like drop it just for the players to sign.
It was awesome.
Um, it was fun, and then the best one would have been the Carly Lloyd signature on there. We had to Naho
Yeah,
just like ran.
so good.
She was
Carly had already walked
she
past. She was like checked out,
yeah,
and Naho just takes the
God.
drum head and just goes,
God.
just
It's like
puts it in and just
Carly.
goes, Carly, sign it. It's so funny.
Yeah,
That was the
that's
best.
yeah.
Naho is the
That was probably the best one.
best.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so it's all about not only as a community itself as a group, but you guys are so focused on the community around the stadium and being around people and doing the good things. And it's one of the things I really, really love about supporter groups is just the community aspect of
Yeah,
it.
for sure. Absolutely. I've met so
Yeah.
many, like I said, I'm kind of new to the game a little. I'm kind of getting my bearings on it, but like just the amount of people that I've met through doing supporters things, just like you meet people who want to be involved with TIFO. Like you have like a core
Hmm.
group of people who like you see on the regular who are willing to help out and like make something really, really cool. Like, and you see this thing fly and it becomes all worth it. And like you really do bond over that.
Yeah, you really become a family.
Yeah.
Supporter groups are, again, the lifeblood of soccer, and you get to be there for all the great moments. But tell us about one or two of like your favorite supporter moments for this
This is
team.
you,
Yeah.
Natalie. You go first.
Yeah.
So this is like a story that I didn't know would have the thrilling conclusion it had, simply because we had no idea what was going to happen in the draft of like, or like in like the trade season that just happened. So this is like flashing back to last year, the infamous home game that we had against the Orlando Pride, in which we had a very big issue for the South Ward of all of the Orlando fans
Oh,
who decided to try to get into our supporters side and hold up
I remember
yeah, oh
that.
yeah, and
Yeah.
hold up
Mhm.
Crashland signs. And so Shay and I were capoing the second half, and Ashlyn comes over to our side. And like all of these fans, like they put up the posters. They're like, "Oh my God, it's Ashlyn Harris!" Like whatever. And I'm telling this because it's hilarious to me, because we and this entire event is what sparked us releasing the Club Over Country design that we ended up, that's still on our spreadshirt right now. But literally, all these fans are just like clapping for Ashlyn or whatever. And Shay and I just look at them. And we're like, "No, you boo this woman! Like you have to boo this woman, because she is the opposition." And they're just like, "No, we couldn't do that." And so Shay just looks at Ashlyn and goes, "Yo, Ashlyn, F you, like just like flat out screams it. And Ashlyn just looks over at us and just gives us a thumbs up. And like that was it. And we were whatever. So the draft happens, and literally the first thing I do is text Shae. I'm like, oh, we messed up. We super messed up. And like we're like laughing about this. We're like absolutely, like it would be the person that we're like cursing out, like yelling club over country against that ends up on our team. And so literally
Yeah.
first our first home game of the Challenge Cup comes, the last one that we were just at. And Shae and I, again, are on the capo stand getting everything ready. Ashlyn is warming up, and we just look over at her. We're like, hey, Ashlyn,
We should probably
yeah,
apologize.
we should probably
Sorry.
apologize. And so we're like, Ashlyn, listen, there are some things that might have been said last season. We just wanted to let you know that we regret saying those things, and we just wanted to apologize, and we hope that we're all good now. And she's just like, it's so fine. Like,
Oh,
she started
yeah, there's
laughing.
water under the
It's like, it's
bridge.
water under
Yeah.
the bridge.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's like we just literally started cracking
He
up.
was on another team back then.
Yeah,
So
it's like it's all different
Yeah.
now. It's fine
Yeah.
now. We're just like we may or may not have said some things. So like just we're our bad, like our bad. We're
Yeah.
sorry. It's very funny.
Yeah. I just
Yeah.
couldn't stop laughing at the
Oh
entire thing.
no.
I was like, God damn.
We're like this would happen to like the one person that we're just like
Right.
cursing out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
And Shae, so what would be your kind of favorite moment so far?
Yeah, you can take
Oh
back the Sky
man.
Blue days.
Yeah. I'm digging all the way back to 2018. So 2018 was a disaster season. We only won one game that season. It was on my birthday, so yay, my 21st.
You are the good
so
luck
that was
charm.
fun.
It's true.
It was on my 21st birthday. My like Cloud9 bought me drinks and stuff, but that's beside the point. It was July of 2018. It was a dreadful season. It was raining every single day. Like at some point, it was just like sleet rain. There were it was bad.
So
Um,
typical New Jersey,
it was
like
typical New Jersey weather,
Wait.
right?
When is your birthday again?
September 8th.
Oh, okay. Mine's the
Yeah.
14th.
Ooh, that's my dad's birthday.
hey.
Oh, okay. Sorry. You can keep going with your story.
It's fine. So it was raining that day. One of our members it was either a canoe or a kayak. It was one of the two, and she had oars.
Oh my god.
And
I know
yeah,
this story.
you know the story. We put like plates down. We had like a tin foil. We rolled it into a ball, and we just started playing oar baseball
Oh my
in like the pouring rain
god.
in the the red dirt of Ursac Field
Jesus Christ.
parking lot.
Pouring rain,
And
and what do
by
you do?
far, we take out an oar. Someone has a kayak in the background, just sitting in a kayak, and we're just like just bulldozing each other, playing baseball with the oar. And that's one of that I tell this story to everyone.
It's so
I
good.
told it to Robbie in Louisville.
Good
It was
lord.
it was
Yo,
fun. It was
you guys
yeah.
have fun all the time, and you guys just got a new website, which I love
Yes.
Yes.
I finally
Yeah.
guilted Jen into putting it up.
Yeah. So, can you tell our audience how can they get more info or like sign up to be a Cloud9 member?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, it's very easy now. It's just cloud9goth.com. You cannot get any easier than that. It is all there. You can get a membership on there. There is an access page for the store. You can learn a little bit more about our supporters culture, kind of like what we value. But it's all there. Like we welcome everyone and
Yeah.
anyone. All you have to do is be able to scream loud for 90 minutes, kind of embody that idea that you just don't quit. As long as those girls are running, then you can't stop singing.
I will yell at you if you're not
Yes,
singing.
we do yell at people if they are not singing. And like, it's really cool. Actually, I will retract my statement. I can't say we are being gender inclusive now, especially. We actually went back into our song sheet to make sure that everything was gender inclusive. Now that we have Kumi on the team,
Nice.
everything is gender neutral. So we're here to root on for our team, our players. And we want everyone to know that like these are part of our values. This is stuff that like we want people to know that it's all inclusive.
For anyone that wants to get yelled at for not singing, where can they meet you? Where
We
can
are
they meet you on
very
game
good
day?
at yelling.
So where can they meet you on game day?
You can meet us on the corner of Guyon Drive, right by Rebel
Meet
Arena
us
on the
in
left
the
hand side.
parking lot. Can that get any
Meet us in
more
the
New
parking
York, New
lot,
Jersey?
right?
Meet us in the parking lot.
You get off the path.
Get off the
Yeah, you
path.
get off the path. You make a left,
Hang a
and
left.
you just walk straight down.
I mean, yeah.
You'll find us.
And during the actual game, we are in the all red section in the South Ward, section 101, 133, 101, and 102 technically. But 101 is like the true. That's where the magic happens.
That's where you get yelled
That's
at.
where you get yelled at. That's where we light off all the
Yes.
smoke. So you just better be ready
Exactly.
That's
for a
awesome.
really,
No,
really
it's
good
such a
time.
good time.
Yeah, it's a very, very fun time. We have a great group of people, and we're always looking for more people. So
When it comes to supporter groups are a reflection of the culture. And we were on a podcast, Ruby and I, called Brian and Me, and they asked me what would you say is the selling point of Gotham? And immediately I was like, culture. It's culture. It's culture. It's culture. Again, supporter groups are a reflection of the culture of the team, of the club, and of the surrounding area. And the culture of this club and this supporter group is so inclusive. They welcome everybody. Everybody's cool. It's just all about love, and everybody's just so much fun. So tell us a little about what you guys look for as far as people.
that's you, Shae. I talk too much.
I guess is just don't be like an a-hole.
Don't be a
Just
dick. Like it's the golden
just
rule.
don't. Yeah, that's really the only rule we have is don't be an asshole. That's it.
Yes.
Don't be an asshole.
Everyone's in every.
Don't you have to sing and just like be ready to have a good time. Like if you don't leave our supporters group without like needing a cough drop after the game, then you've done it wrong.
Yeah. Oh man, I really lost my voice last game.
Yeah, it's great. I lose my voice every game. It's fantastic. My throat hates me.
And I also want to point out that even though you may not be there on game day, whether you don't want to get yelled at all game, I still want you guys to get memberships. Reason why I want to teach you to get memberships because it gives you an ownership stake of the team, essentially, because the supporter groups are the ones who are going to advocate for your ideas. They're going to advocate for the players' health and well-being. They're the ones who are behind the scenes pushing this whole sport forward. And so the money that you spend on a membership, even if you're not sitting there, even if you're not going to the games, is going to do good. It's going to pay it forward down the road.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
If you join Cloud9, you get access to our Discord and you have a direct line to all of the admins.
Yeah.
So we're always looking for people who want better for the club and would tell us their opinions. That way we can tell the front office.
Yeah, absolutely. We just want to start, like, now that everything has gone digital, we're just advocating for accessibility and, in that inclusivity, like put in a lot of initiatives now that everyone is super literate in QR codes. We're trying to get our song sheets on a QR code so that people, like, even if you're not in the section, you can start learning our chants and you can sing along with us. Like, you don't have to be in like the standing section to sing with us.
Yeah,
that's such a great idea.
We want the entire stadium, man.
Yeah,
the entire stadium wants to.
We do the whole stadium sings with us, but like it doesn't end there.
Yeah.
Thank you too for showing up and talking to us. It's just been a great interview, and again, supporter culture is something near and dear to my heart. And again, everybody, check out Cloud9 Goth on Twitter and find them, get a membership, get it going. Thank you guys again.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having us.
No problem.
Yeah. See you guys at Rebel Arena.
Yes. So for our guests, Ruby and myself, we will see you all at Red Bull Arena this Sunday against the Spirit. We're all ready, right?
Yeah.
If you hear us, you got to echo it back in that stadium. If you hear the year, you got to do it. It's the law. It's the law.
It is the law. All right, everybody, let's go.